I'm gonna have you do the first one, Don Anderson.
Okay.
And then, I don't know, I'll do another one later.
I got
Dr. Cleveland, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Anytime you are.
Everybody ready? Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order, the May 9th, 2023 school board meeting. First thing we're going to do is do the Pledge of Allegiance, and that's going to be led by Miss Haley Person.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Haley, we're going to have you sit down for just a second, then I'm going to call you back up here in just a minute, okay? Okay, so do we have any changes or additions, subtractions to our agenda?
No, sir. Not that I'm aware.
Okay. So I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda for this evening.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Mrs. Creek, a second by Mr. Ramos to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, now that brings us to the consent agenda. Are there any questions, comments, anything about the items in the consent agenda that need to be discussed? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve those.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Bell, a second by Mrs. Cook to approve the consent agenda as submitted. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, now I'm going to bring this person back up, and she's going to tell us all about herself and what's going on with herself there at Springdale High School.
My name is Haley Person. I'm a senior at Springdale High School. I'm going to be graduating in a few weeks. I came up through the district. I went to HAR-BER Elementary. Yay! My mom works there. She's the school nurse. She's amazing. And then I went to J.O. Kelly Middle School, then George Junior High, and now I go to Springdale High School. My dad works there. He's a teacher. He's pretty great. I try really hard to be involved in our school environment. I'm in student council. I'm like the president of the class, senior class council. And I'm a student ambassador. I'm the president of that group. So I really work hard to, communicate between students and teachers and kind of facilitate like a positive learning environment. That's one of my goals. I'm going to be going to the University of Arkansas in the fall. It was between the U of A and Georgetown. But financially, the U of A is going to be a better option. I got the I received the Honors College Fellowship from the University of Arkansas.
That's good.
And then I've also received a few other scholarships. So I'm really excited. It's basically all going to be paid for. I'm going to pursue a degree in public health. And I know I want to get my master's in something. I'm not quite sure which area of public health. I kind of want to explore it a little bit more at the U of A, maybe take some internships and see which niche I fit in the best. But yeah, I'm really excited to continue. Thank you.
Board, is there anybody that has any questions?
What made you want to get into public health?
That's a really funny story. When I was in 9th grade and I was in like the advanced biology, class at George, and my biology teacher, he made us do book reports, which I thought was insane because I was like, why am I doing a book report in biology? But I read a book. It's called Demon in the Freezer. It's about smallpox. And this was all pre-COVID, by the way. Like, I became just fascinated with like viruses and disease and spread. And it's the weirdest thing because literally that was 2020. A few months later, COVID hits, and I'm just like, I saw it coming. No. But yeah, I just I'm still really interested in it. So I've thought about maybe going into epidemiology. But yeah, I've just always been interested in it, and I love my biology teacher if he sees this. Yeah.
Are you still very involved in the music side as well?
Yeah, I'm in choir.
Continue that?
I do it kind of on my own time, just because I'm kind of I'm a very structured person, and going into music, like pursuing music in the music industry is not a very like structured, planned lifestyle. And so it's more of a passion on the side. Music is still an outlet for me. I still like to write. I still like to play the guitar. I'm still involved in choir, and I hope to be involved in choir at the U of A. But it's not like my main focus anymore.
About a few words to describe Springdale High School.
Culture. I can't say enough about like how incredible it is to go to Springdale and just be opened up to so many different cultures, so many diversities. It's probably my favorite thing about Springdale. I think that just being surrounded by that has really made me who I am. I mean, I can't think of any other words off the top of my head. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, when I think of Springdale, I think of culture and diversity. We do La Plaza every year, which where people like, they'll do dances from their culture, and it's just the coolest thing. We'll do Black History Month festivals and Hispanic Heritage Month festivals, and it's really amazing just to always be surrounded by so much that I wouldn't get to see like anywhere else. Yeah.
Anything
Thank
else?
you.
Well, we really do appreciate you being here. We appreciate you, the fact that you embraced everything there is about the Springdale School District, and appreciate your mom and dad being a part of the school district too. So we look forward to seeing what happens in the future. I mean, see what path you decide to go down. So check back in with us later on and keep us informed. So,
Thank you so much.
thanks for being here.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I'm going to hand this off to Dr. Cleveland, and we're going to do some celebrations.
This is always a bittersweet year, and Mr. Owenby, I did not total up the years of service. I know you always do that.
I got there yet.
You ain't got to yet? Okay. I didn't do it, so I didn't beat you to the punch. It's a bittersweet day whenever we celebrate our retirees. Teachers for the life split, any school district in Springdale, there's no better truth than that. We have a lot of staff this year, including one that's special to me, that I get to live with, by the way, that is retiring. So I'd like to start off with Miss Dawn Anderson from George Junior High. She's only been in our district for 2 years, but she has 23 total years. So Miss Dawn Anderson, if you're in the room, we would like to celebrate you. So come forward, please. She may be trying to park. Anybody have a hard time parking tonight? So
I don't think she's here right now. It doesn't look like.
if she comes in, we'll find her. Next, we have Miss Deborah Bradford. 19 years in our district, 29 years total. And we were fortunate to get her from a little situation called Katrina years ago. She came from Louisiana. Thank you, Ms. Bradford.
Can I say one? I just want to say, Katrina brought me here, but God kept me here.
From Young Elementary, Library Media Specialist, 10 years in the district, 31 years total, Ms. Christy Cleveland.
Congratulations.
HAR-BER High School, counselor, 25 years in the district, 32 total, Ms. Colleen Foster. From Hunt Elementary School, 30 years in the district, 30 years total, Ms. LaDonna Fontanopoulos. From Sonora Elementary School, 10 years in the district, 24 years in total, Dr. Darlene Hatfield. From Walker Elementary School, 23 years in the district, 24 years total, Terry Isabel. From Helen Tyson Middle School, an awesome lady, 29 years in the district, 29 years total, 26 years in the district, Ms. Jill Law. From HAR-BER High School, 15 years in the district, 30 total, Ms. Jeannie Nance. From Parson Hills Elementary School, 35 years in the district, 35 years total, Ms. Denise Stevenson.
Congratulations.
So we had many retirees who couldn't attend tonight, and I'd like to read their names in the record unless some of you are here and I didn't call your name. Can I ask that first? Anyone here that is retiring, other than administrators? Okay. We have Miss Heidi Cohen, Sonora Middle School, 29 years total, 17 in the district. Miss Tiffany Day, Kelly Middle School, 27 years in the district, 27 years total. Heather Doyle from SHS, she's a French teacher, 17 years in the district, 27 years total. Miss Cindy Flores from Jones Elementary School, 15 years in the district, 15 total. Mr. Bob Maples, he's at HAR-BER High School, 7 years in the district, 7 total. From Sonora Middle, 16 years in the district, 16 years total, Miss Holly Mast. Miss Linda Odell, she's a district instructional specialist, 33 years total, 22 in our district. Miss Lisa Poor, Kelly Middle School, teacher, 19 years in the district, 20 total. Mr. Spencer Scarborough from HAR-BER High School, 8 years in the district, 19 total. Joycelyn Strobe, George Elementary, she's a library media specialist, 31 years total, 12 years in our district. Tina Sweet from Hart Elementary, 30 years in our district, 30 years total. Mr. Greg Tyner from SHS, football coach and teacher, 34 years total, 9 in our district. Miss Nancy Wandry from Westwood, special ed teacher, 32 years total, 25 years in our district. Coach Mark Watley from SHS, 38 years total, 13 in our district. Miss Catherine Wormington from Hellstern, PE and health teacher, 23 years total, 23 years in the district. And finally, Mr. Rob Lindley, who's been an administrator in our district, 33 years total and 4 in our district. They deserve a round of applause. First, we'd like to recognize Mr. Wayne Boland from HAR-BER Elementary School. 28 years total and 19 in our district. Next, we have Dr. Annette Thompson, 37 years. 37 years total, 34 in our district. Dr. Thompson, you're certainly welcome to speak if you like.
Don't do it.
I'm going to make an announcement from over here because I made a promise. I'd like to recognize Miss Allison Strange, 40 years in the district. I'm on, please.
Take your lanyard off.
Oh. Okay, Mr. President, thank you all. Teachers that retired, thank you, Wood. Sorry. Well, we were going to save him.
Oh, we're going to save him for later. Okay.
We still have time to. Mr. Hayes is our deputy superintendent, and we expect to, I hate to say this in the wrong way, but we're going to celebrate him next month.
Okay.
That's okay. There's no saving him. Huh? Different. Where's no saving? We're going to roast him next month. Would you like to have all the retirees on the steps for a picture?
That would be great.
Is that okay and appropriate? Retirees, are you available to do that? Thank you all. One more time, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'll be on consultation.
I hope so.
I'll be on consultation, just call me if you need.
I've got your number in my phone.
Okay.
I hate losing her.
While they're exiting, I'd like to announce the stock market winners from Shaw and Rollins. We have Miss Lisa Taylor and Miss Wendy Peterson. If you please come to the podium, celebrate our students.
Give a hug to your wife. Well, actually, this is stock market, right? Good evening. Thank you so much for inviting us here to recognize our kiddos. Unfortunately, my team, 3 boys from Rollins Elementary, they have baseball games tonight, so they weren't able to join us, but they won first place in the regional fall competition for the stock market game, and super proud of them. They were just beside themselves. They've known since January, so we got to go last Thursday to the State House Convention Center in Little Rock, and they were celebrated with a really fancy luncheon. They were so excited, and so their names were, let me think, Jackson Fry, Hayden Cognac, and Pearson Mize. Thank you.
So we were the spring stock market game winners, so I'm glad we didn't have to compete against her in the fall, because she beat us in the fall. So, but we won the spring, and so we didn't go to Little Rock, but we celebrated by going to Marketplace last week, and they enjoyed that.
That's a good celebration.
This is Noah Snodgrass, Hayes Teff, Kaysen Armati, oh wait, I said Andrioli. Of course I was going to do that. And Rhett Seegers. So they know I'm really bad with names after 25 years. So they enjoyed this and bought a lot of stocks. Yeah. So
Congratulations.
We gotta hear about them.
You want to tell us any secrets?
Get there, Hayes.
Crocs is a good stock to buy.
Crocs?
and all of our kids are wearing them, and so it really went high, and then after the game, it dropped. So we were glad that game ended on a Friday, because like 3 days later,
So it's the actual stock market?
Yes. So it's a 9-week simulation, and they have $100,000 to spend, and so it's hard to let them understand that it's fake money. I'm like, we can risk big because we really are not going to get anything. And so they learn about the high buy, when it's low, and then sell when it's high. But we kind of had a different experience this spring because we looked at what was going to be on the commercials for the Super Bowl. And so this team bought Procter & Gamble, and they had a good commercial, and so their stock shot up too. So it was really fun. We did learn. What did you say today?
You lose some, you win some.
Yeah, you lose some, you win some. And so,
That's a good philosophy.
Yeah, when it's fake money,
everybody was fake. Steph said what was it, one day we were in 30th, and then one day we became in second, and so that was a good day. So I think they really did realize how volatile our market is right now.
So who ended up with the highest rate of return?
The highest rate of what stock made the most. Yeah, Crocs really put on
Crocs
the game. So.
Got me involved. See you in a while. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Good job.
Congratulations. Also have some other winners from Odyssey's Mind. I'd like to invite Miss Wendy Peters, Miss Renee Creek. Miss Peters, back to the podium, please.
So we're the Odyssey of the Mind team at Don Tyson School of Innovation, and this is a combination of 7th and 8th graders. We have Franklin Farrell at the end, AJ Terrell, Jordan Cook, Katie Fryer, Mackenzie Vanderhack, and Giovanna Watson, and one team member couldn't make it today, Lila Johnston. But so at our regional competition, we had the regional competition at DTSOI, and in our problem, we won first place at the state qualifier. And so then we went down to Hendricks College at the 1st of April and competed at the state level and got first place in our problem there too. So we qualified to go to the World Finals in Michigan. So we're excited about that, and those are our pictures from those competitions there. So we're really excited. Okay, I'm back. So we have the team from Hellstern Middle School, and we have 2 students that are absent this evening as well. We have, let's see, Luke Shelton is absent, and Jet Davis is absent. But we have Parker Mann. He's actually a 5th grader, and we stole him from Bernie Shung because he's the brother of Addison Mann. And they work amazingly together. It's fabulous. We have Allie Peters, Sydney Shelton, and Grace Shakanaka. And a lot of these kiddos have been with me since they were in 1st grade, so I'm super proud of this group. They were in problem 1 called The Pirates and the Treasure, and they had to build from scratch a vehicle that travels an obstacle course and takes out a sea monster and all kinds of fun stuff. So you see their little sugar bowl up there. Does anybody want to explain what your concept is or anything? Come on, Sydney, you can do it. It's okay. I'll speak. They're being very shy, and they're not shy normally. They're usually really loud. But their concept was they had to have a queen that lost her treasure, and so their queen has lost their sugar. And so if you look up there, you can see some cereal boxes, and you don't see it right there, but all the color drains from the cereal boxes, and so they have to go and they have to fight the sea monster, who's a Karen, if y'all know what a Karen is, who doesn't want their children to eat sugar. And so there's a big battle, and then it all comes back, and the queen gets back her sugar. So super proud of this team. And I do want to recognize that we had our first team from Rollins Elementary this year, but they unfortunately did not advance to World Finals. But next year, they are already talking about doing it again. So I love these kiddos, and I've had some of these kiddos too. So fun, and so very proud of these kids. And we're leaving in 2 weeks, I believe, on the 22nd. Is that 2 weeks? To go to Michigan State University. I think right now the count is around 675 different teams throughout the world. So a lot of teams sort of backed out during COVID, different international teams. And so now I think we have 9 or 10 different countries that are sending their teams back this year. So we're super excited to compete and show them how amazing Springdale and Arkansas is. So, okay,
It's
thank
been
you.
the last week of school, isn't it?
Yes, for sure. I'm not stressed at all.
Well, I forgot to recognize the parents with the last group, so if there's any parents here with Odyssey of the Minds, please stand up and be recognized.
It is a lot of work. We start in October and we go until May if we win. So, and it's every week, and we compete kind of like at our school, it's the robotics team. They complete all the time, and it's like she was explaining. We're doing a Rube Goldberg machine, and it has to do lots of different things, and they have to do a skid, and so yeah, there's a lot involved, and we appreciate parents being supportive for sure. And sending thank you. Yeah, and sending snacks.
We appreciate you all being here, and good luck at Michigan State. Hopefully that'll be really well. Are you guys
Yes, we're going to. We're all
So,
going together, yes.
Good luck to all of you. So, thanks for being here. Yes. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a fun trip, does it?
Excuse me, thank you. It was an average of 28 years seniority, 837 years.
It's not a record.
I mean, a small group.
Okay. I would like to do some really special introductions for the 23-24 school year. Our first, and as we recognize our new administrators, I would like to welcome them to the podium and maybe introduce their families if they like, or just speak, say whatever you want to. I'm sure some of them don't want to do this at all, so being put on the spot may be a problem. But anyway, they certainly have the opportunity. Our first is Special Education Supervisor, Ms. Rachel Underdown. Please help me
Hey, I just want to first thank Dr. Cleveland and the school board for giving me the opportunity to continue to serve our families here in Springdale. I'm a graduate of Springdale High School. Before that, I went to Southwest and Walker. And my kids, which are right here, Sloan and PJ, are both going to be at HAR-BER next year. So we're a Springdale family. I was raised here, and I'm just really excited to be able to continue my career as an administrator to serve all our families. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I do have to say, the talent that Ms. Underdown brings to this special ed team is amazing. You know, she's worked with us with Ian, my 10-year-old, and can't say enough about her. So you guys are very lucky to have her.
Truth is, she stepped in this year and filled the gap.
Yeah.
Filled the void this year, and we just talked her into staying. Anyway, she did a great job.
Thanks.
Next, we have an assistant principal for HAR-BER Elementary School. We have, there she is, I was just making sure. Dr. Tammy, would you like to come to the podium, please?
Thank you, Dr. Cleveland, for the opportunity. I find it to be an honor to join the HAR-BER team. And, you know, they're losing both administrators, and so I met the staff a couple weeks ago, or just maybe last Wednesday, and said, "Don't leave." I know it's hard to lose two administrators, but the first thing I thought of when the administration job was open was just the culture that HAR-BER has had since London Children's Nap opened it, 20-something years ago. And so Allison Strange and Wayne Boland have done such a fabulous job continuing that strong culture, and so that's what I hope to do with Ms. Brock. Ms. Brock and I worked together in Parson Hills several years ago, back in 2005. And so when I opened up Monitor, she went to Lee, and so we have a kind of a history together too. So I'm very excited.
You're doing a great job.
Very excited.
Next, and I really, I apologize. I should have asked you to come to the podium too, maybe even introduce you. In fact, I'll be happy to do that. Ms. Ryan, would you like to do that? Would you like to introduce your new assistant?
Happy to. It is my honor and privilege to introduce the new assistant principal at Walker Elementary, Mrs. Katie Wilson. Katie is returning to Walker from a year of administration experience in Bentonville in both an elementary and a high school. Yes, I said elementary and high school. She's been split, job sharing into two buildings, and they were two different age bands. So she comes with that experience, but also she is a former Walker parent, and her children went through Walker, so I've known her first as a parent for many, many years, and so we're excited to get started. She met our staff today. The staff, many of them know her and are thrilled to have her joining the Walker team. So I'll let her speak now.
Thank you.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm just thankful to be back. We joked that I'm coming home, and I'm coming home in a lot of ways. My husband and I, K-12 public school here. All three of my kids, were Walker and then DTSOI. And so to me, it's coming home not only to Springdale, to who has made me and developed me both from kindergarten through the skills I have today to get to help lead a building and to serve our community. And so to me, it's really special. And coming home to this elementary, it's, my husband's alma mater, it's all three of my kids' alma mater, and I think that's pretty special as well. So I'm excited to get to work with Miss Ryan and the staff and serve our community.
Congratulations.
Next, I'd like to introduce Coach Keith Fimple. He's our new Executive Director of Athletics.
Good evening. My name is Keith Fimple. I got 27 years, and I want one of you guys to hand me one of those boxes one of these days. I'm not going anywhere. I just wanted to start off, about 5 years ago, I worked here in the district. God took me on a path to be the head coach at the Conway Wampus Cats. Cannot tell you how grateful I am that God has brought me back and my family. My son right now is playing the championship game between the Conway Cubs and the Conway Padres. I'm sorry they couldn't be here, and of course my wife is taking care of that, and my daughter is a theater art major at UCA, and she's putting together a back screen for a play that's coming up, but I'll be glad that as soon as possible to get them up here and get all this done. But I wanted to read a statement to you that I'd already kind of prepared because my wife was always on me about rattling on and getting off track. So again, I am deeply honored and grateful to be the Springdale Public School Athletic Director. I think you can tell how passionate I am. I humbly accept this position with great pride and enthusiasm, and I pledge to devote the same energy and passion to lead our athletic department and the people inside of it. I am a strong believer in athletics nowadays has the power to bring a community together and inspire us to achieve great things. I look forward to working closely with our coaches, staff, and student athletes to create a sense of unity and pride in our athletic programs, which, if you can tell again, I already have that type of pride for this place here. I mean, it's very special, Springdale is to me. In closing, I'd like to thank all of you for your support and the confidence in me to give me this job. I am excited about the opportunities and the challenges that lie ahead. I am committed to working tirelessly to make our athletic program the best that we can be. Let's all work together to continue a legacy of excellence that we can all be proud of. Thank you.
Coach Fimple's right. He wouldn't be there for a while. You guys did a great job. We welcome you back home, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, now I'd like to ask Ms. Tischer to come to the podium. We're going to talk about our graduation announcements for the 4 high schools, and she'll bring forward, I believe, the high school principals.
Yes, sir. So just quickly, we are very excited this year about graduations, and again, excited that we only have 4. As you all remember, in the past, there were days when we had 9 or 10 or 13 or just on TV. And so we've come a long way. We're excited to be back. Our principals are going to come up and walk you through graduation days, starting with Archer Learning Center on Friday evening, and then walking through Springdale High, HAR-BER High, and then Don Tyson School of Innovation on Saturday. That's May 19th and 20th. They're going to present to you in the order of which the ceremonies occur. That way you can just kind of line it all up in terms of when to arrive, where, and all that kind of stuff. And so we're going to start with Dr. Davis from Archer Learning Center, and then we're going to move to Springdale High School. And Springdale High School and HAR-BER High School are going to kind of co-present because once you get through Springdale High's materials, HAR-BER High is pretty much identical with the exception of the time. And then we will have Ms. Bortz and Dr. Harper from Don Tyson School of Innovation come and talk to you about the transition to Barnhill and what that ceremony will be like. And so we will now welcome to the podium Dr. Davis from Archer Learning Center.
Hello, how are y'all doing this evening? Well, we're getting excited. I forgot what the number was on the wall. I think we got 6 more working days for our students. So we're counting down, and every day there are more students than there were the day before that we think are going to make it. So as of today, we think we're around 100. We're hoping that number is going to grow quite a bit. So just a couple things I'll point out in our booklet. Near the front, you'll see there are 2 invitations to events. We obviously have our senior celebration on the 17th. We welcome you to come. It starts at 11:30. We'll just honor some kids who've won some scholarships and some other things, and so that'll just be a fun time. And then just 2 days, we'll have the graduation at Springdale Performing Arts Center, and we ask that you be there around 6:30. So we'll have a little time together. You'll notice there's a program for the celebration. There's a sample of what the actual program will look like. There's some highlights of some things that are going on this year, some things we're excited about. I've shared with you what we're sharing with families, so you can see exactly what they'll see, where they enter and such. And then there's the breakdown of the night for graduation. This is just something we keep internally, and you can see there it shows 6:30. We have you guys coming. The next page, we no longer have an outside speaker, but we've been doing a faculty member that the students choose. And this year, it's a first-year teacher that the kids have chosen, and so we'll see how that goes. He's shared here his summary. I think most of it is pretty similar. I think everybody, except for maybe you, Mr. Bell, has been at our graduation, so we'll make sure you know what to do. It's not hard. It's real simple. Was it last year? Because you came the year before. Okay, yes. Oh, okay, so that's right. You were there. Okay. So I guess everybody's been, and it's pretty much the same places we stand. Same things we'll do. We'll split the list for you. We'll try to make that easy. We've got all the assignments and all of that. Are there any questions for me, I guess? No, it's going to be a fun night. You know, an Archer graduation is always a party, so we look forward to y'all being there for it. So thank you so much.
One of my coworkers' son is graduating, and I've already told her to be ready to be rowdy.
No, I know. If you've never seen it, you don't know what you're missing. So yes. Okay, thank y'all so much.
Here we are.
Good evening, guys. How y'all doing tonight?
Awesome.
Yeah, it's been a long day, hasn't it? Glad to have you here tonight. Ms. Markham is here. She's assistant principal at HAR-BER High. She's doing their graduation this year. And our graduations are going to be very similar. So, and most of y'all, all of you have been to one of our graduations, so it's not anything different this year. We do have provided with you right now. You have ours. You want to go ahead and pass yours out too? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. There you go. Oh, I'm behind the wall. But anyway, our graduation ceremony will be on the 20th. Springdale High Schools is at 9 o'clock, and then HAR-BER follows at
1 p.m.
At 1 p.m. If we would, we'd like for you to be there by 8:30. There's a parking pass included in your packet. You'll be parking in lot 56 again, which is the same one we've been using on the east side of Bud Walton. You can enter on Leroy Pond or on Razorback Road, either one. You should be able to get in there, and if you could be there by 8:30, I'd breathe a lot of smoke this afternoon. My brain's not working real good right now. But if you be there at 8:30, we can get you all set up and show you where we're going to be at on the stage and how we're going to do that as well. And I also have a list of our graduates at that time. If there's somebody you're looking for, we'll make sure that we have that information available for you. Okay? Go ahead.
As Dawn said, our ceremony is going to be very similar. We're going to start out with a few students with some special needs. They will go first across the stage. They'll enter ramp A with an aide or a teacher, and they'll go all the way across down ramp B and out the tunnel, and then we will begin with row 1. I did provide for each of you a list of the graduates on the back of the packet, and I have some assignments as to who may shake whose hand. Please feel free to do as you please, swap out and greet whichever graduate you may
wish to do so. We are starting our graduation celebrations on May the 18th at HAR-BER. That morning we will have a graduation practice followed by our senior celebration, and we do invite each of you to attend if you're available. We're really looking forward to the opportunity to honor our graduates and their accomplishments for the school year. And then again, our graduation will follow at 1 p.m. on Saturday. You guys will already be there, so let's start.
And we also have our senior assembly. Our traditional one will be this Friday. It starts at 9 o'clock, and you're well invited to that as well. We'll save you a seat if you'd like to come. Okay? Do you have any questions about any of the order or anything that we're going to do?
I know.
I'm good. Okay. All right.
You guys make it easy for us.
You just saved me from talking about half an hour, so that's great. We're always proud of the contributions and support we receive from our school board, and thank you very much. And our seniors will have greatly appreciated it, and we're glad that you come out and share the opportunity to graduate with us. Thank you.
Thanks. You never talked that nice to me when
Good evening. I'm Shay Hopper from Don Tyson School of Innovation, and Ms. Wertz is here as well, so thank you for having us both this evening. So our graduation, just like last year, will transition the Springdale team to Barn Hill. And so in your packet on the left-hand side of your folder is Ms. Wertz's letter to the board and the admin team, and that provides a summary and overview of what's in your packet. We are hopeful that you'll be able to arrive at 3:15 to join us in the hospitality suite and kind of collect your thoughts and catch your breath and get ready for our ceremony at 4 p.m. And so in our packet, we've included information about our senior celebrations as well that begin on Friday, May 19th. We have an awards assembly at 9 a.m. and certainly would love to see any of the board members and administration team there who would like to join us. There is an agenda as well as an invitation for our senior breakfast, which will immediately follow the awards ceremony at 10:15. And then we will have a full rehearsal in our PAC at Don Tyson with all of our students. And then our students in their cap and gown have the opportunity to walk through our school campus so that our 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th graders can celebrate them as well. Also in your packet for Saturday, we've included the parking map from the University of Arkansas for Barn Hill. And last year, we used this same parking lot, which are lots 45 or 45B, and the west entrance to the lower west entrance that faces Razorback Road had a little hiccup with the door being locked, and it was raining, so we apologize for that. But we met with Barn Hill yesterday afternoon and clarified that. And so in your packet, I have included a page with actual photos of your new door in the southwest corner, and we will have a DTSOI staff member at the door and signage on the door. Ms. Qualls, our wonderful front office staff member, will be there to greet you. And we have a new green room, a new waiting area this year at Barn Hill, which we're super excited about. It will actually be upstairs, and it's a much better facility than where we were last year. It's a little roomier, yes, much better. And so Ms. Qualls will guide you up the stairs and take you to the room, and there are photos of that included as well. And then our commencement invitation and program are also included, all of which will be on your seating on the stage when you arrive. We also put the order of diploma distribution in the packet, but certainly that can be customized to your request. That will be in your seat that morning. Our speaker profiles, our agenda and timing for the day. And then at the very back is your parking permit for the Barn Hill lots as well. Any questions? Okay, thank y'all so much.
Thank you, principals. Okay. Question, I'd like to invite Dr. Annette Thompson and Ms. Shelley Pogue, principals at Don Tyson Elementary School, and Dr. Jim Rollins, School District. And
Okay, I think I'll begin. For my very last school board presentation of my career,
bittersweet. Bittersweet, but it's such a joy to have opened Dr. Jim D. Rollins Elementary School of Innovation, and we began the work of getting ready to apply to the state to begin the process. And so I'm here to share with you, along with Carrie, our 3 goals for innovation. Goal 1 is for literacy growth for all students. Goal 2 would be to increase learner agentic behaviors and increase student self-efficacy. And then goal 3 is to improve critical thinking skills by giving learner opportunities and many different experiences for students to think more deeply about their learning. And so the innovations for how we're going to accomplish that are to do student voice and choice of different types of learning, like passion projects. And then also for students to be able to have integrated science and literacy, and really dig in deeply for students to be able to track their own learning and build their skills. So Carrie is ready to take this on. She understands it fully, and she is so excited. So we're ready to go. And so Shelley's going to share her goals and innovations now.
I want to say thank you to Dr. Thompson really quickly. She has really helped me become a better leader, and I appreciate that. And I wish you the best in your retirement. You're welcome. Our goals are similar. We would like to increase motivation and engagement of students by embedding relevant, rigorous, and authentic learning experiences in each classroom throughout the school and with community partnerships. Increase percentage of students reading on or above grade level and students reaching or exceeding literacy growth expectations, and develop students' capacity to become agentic learners by teaching skills and strategies that maximize learner agency. Some of the innovations that we are going to implement are lesson design, learner-centered instructional approaches, expand family engagement and community partnerships, learner qualities, self-efficacy strategies, and student goal setting. On behalf of Dr. Thompson, Ms. Ferris, Mrs. Kirby, and I, we would like to ask the board to please pass a resolution to allow us to move forward with our School of Innovation application.
Okay, so I have 2 resolutions here, one for each of the schools. Do I need to do 2 separate votes, or can I put it all together in one?
I would submit to Kendra, but I believe 2 is appropriate.
Okay, so 1 for each. Okay, so I have 2 separate resolutions here. First one we'll do is the Rollins School. It basically just states that they've come here today, told us what their plan was, and that we're on board as the board, and we'll support this. So are there any questions concerning this? If not, I would entertain a motion.
Can I read the paper?
Do what?
Can I read the paper and make a motion?
You may. Do what?
I make a motion that we accept the School of Innovation Program resolution for Rollins Elementary.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion by Mrs. Creek, a second by Mrs. Cook, to accept the resolution for the School of Innovation program at Rollins Elementary. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, there's one.
I'll make a motion to approve the John Tyson Elementary School of Innovation application as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Emerson, a second by Mr. Owenby, to accept the resolution for a School of Innovation program at Tyson Elementary. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That is 2 for 2, ladies. Good job.
I didn't think we were gonna say, I mean,
Ms. Pogue, would you mind just give a mini summary of the 50-year event from yesterday, if you don't, is this okay?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, it was such an honor to celebrate 50 years of excellence at John Tyson Elementary. No, I haven't been there the whole 50 years, okay? But the years I have been there, 7 years, have blessed me beyond measure. But getting to see the mayor come and proclamate that it was John Tyson Elementary Day on May 8th, 2023, and all of the history that was shared about Tyson being an open concept school in the past, before and after, before and now pictures, Dr. Cleveland coming to present the principals that have been there all these years, and the student-led part of our assembly was amazing. We had a student who actually wrote an original song for the celebration. And I'm just thankful that so many past teachers could come. Lola Malone was there, 27-year principal at Tyson. That was an honor. And then we just got to celebrate with a time capsule that will be buried and all kinds of fun. Do you guys want to add anything?
I had a great time, and I stuck to the script.
You just stick to the script. Good job. I tried to stick to mine too. Well, thank you guys that could come, and it was a great blessing for me, and the students enjoyed it. They're still talking about it. So thank you very much for letting me share. Thank you.
Next, we have Ms. Fink to discuss the promising practices designation.
Well, good evening, board. I will add one thing to yesterday. So, like a couple of you on the board, I was a Tyson Tiger from kindergarten through 6th grade. And my kindergarten teacher came yesterday, and so I got to reconnect with my kindergarten teacher, who miraculously looked at me and said, "Are you Melissa Calvert?" And I'm like, I don't know if that's good or bad that you remember me from so long ago. But yes, that's who I am. So it was a very special day getting to celebrate Tyson Elementary. At this time, I want to ask Dr. Stuman and Ms. Mulliken to come join me at the podium. And I really just wanted to ask them to come tonight so that we can celebrate them. As you know, our district is very invested in the PLC process and doing this process well and doing it with fidelity. And we have two really good examples of what this looks like in our district. So both of these ladies have their schools have been recently designated as a promising practices school. And what this means is that they have demonstrated a commitment to the PLC at Work process. They have implemented these concepts for 2 years. They have clear evidence of improved student learning. And they have a very deep understanding and knowledge of the culture, practices, and structures of the school or district. And they've submitted it for consideration with the PLC Review Committee. So this was not a very easy task for these ladies to accomplish. This was a very time-consuming task, one that they can't make up. It's something that they truly have to have going in their schools. And so I wanted to give Dr. Stuman and Ms. Mulliken a brief opportunity to kind of share the experiences of becoming a promising practice school.
Thank you all. It is an honor to be here and be recognized for our work with the PLC. One of the things that we did is we didn't go about it the way some of the other schools have. We didn't apply for the cohort. We instead used some of our money and actually purchased time with someone who was in our building, Dr. Mandy Barrett in Gravett Schools. And so her school is a model PLC. She does a lot of presentations, and she is also our partner. And so she would come into our building 5 times a year or more it was 8 times. 8 times a year. And she would meet with teachers, she would meet with students, she would meet with parents, she would give us feedback on things. And she was sitting at the table the night that they announced that they were going to start promising practices. And they said, think of a school that you're going to say this is what they need to do, because this was a new award they started. And she texted me that night and she said, you are going to be the first promising practice school ever. And I was like, okay, we'll see about that. And then when it came out, she sent it to me. She supported us on filling that out, and it was just great because it was just telling the story of the work of excellent, trained, knowledgeable, excited, loving teachers who are doing everything they can to serve all the kids every day. And I know they are. I would probably say this too, that we're representing the work of all the elementary schools. This is going on in all of our elementary schools, and soon I think all of us will get this recognition because we're doing the right work for all the kids.
All right. First, I'd like to thank whoever put us down on the agenda, because when I walked in and saw the crowded room, I didn't know if I'd be able to stand up here. But so thank you for clearing out the room for us. I am just super proud and excited about this designation that we have received. Retiree was the first school in Springdale to get the PLC grant with Solution Tree and DESE. And so that provided us for three years working with Solution Tree consultants. And this is our end of our third year that we're wrapping up. And so it has been an amazing 3 years. We've had an overall lead coach that has come in twice a month. He's come in from San Diego, California, and helped us understand deeper the PLC process. We've had a literacy coach that's come in a few times a year, a math coach, an RTI coach, an assessment coach, and a leadership coach. And so our staff has had just a blessing of just really getting in deep with experts and doing this work. And through this process, it has allowed for us to really get a deeper understanding of serving students student by student, skill by skill, need by need. And so we've really honed in on what our students need, and that has come through results have now shown through our state assessment data. As I've spoken to you all before, this last year, our ACT Aspire data, we showed growth in every subject area and every grade level tested, third, fourth, and fifth, except for one category. And then when you look at the data longitudinally, we had growth in every subject area and every grade level tested. When I talk about growth, our growth was a double digits growth in each category. As I said to you before, the growth statistically, 5 to 7% growth is what they consider as good. It's good and it's significant. And like I said, we were double digits. And so we were just super proud of the work that our teachers have done, working collaboratively to understand where they need to start with their students and where they need to keep moving them. And one of the recent recognitions I just got as well was our RTI coach, Paula Rogers. She's a co-author of Best Practices at Tier 3 with Mike Matos and Rich Smith and Austin Buffum, which are leads in the PLC work, has reached out to ask if she could use Retiree's RTI referral form and RTI data spreadsheets in an upcoming academy that she is performing for Solution Tree nationally. So that is amazing. Super proud of our teachers for them doing that work. They lead that work and they continue to ensure that they're identifying students that need supports and then continuing with those essential standards as well. And then our lead coach, David Jones, has also filmed our guiding coalition and presented them in that video at PLC institutes that he's presented on across the country. So we're super proud of that. The last thing is just having the honor with Dr. Cleveland's support as being a PLC practitioner this year, working with other schools in the state to help support them in this work has been a great honor. Thank you. Oh, and please, do not forget May 16th, we're having our PLC Celebration Day. That's to celebrate the end of our 3 years with this grant and to celebrate this new designation that we have received. So we hope to see you all there. Thank you.
We did leave, I think Ms. Hendricks put a pin down for each of you that we got made and gave to our staff so they can have a little pride shining bright. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I know both of these schools, Mary has already applied for model designation, and Dr. Stuman will be applying for model designation as well. So that will be a huge honor when we get some model designations in our district. Okay. Keeping on with celebrating professional learning communities in our district, Ms. Mulliken talked about the cohort project, and every year we have been lucky in Springdale to have 1 or 2 of our schools join the cohort project. And this year, we had 6 schools that applied to be in the cohort project, and we had 6 schools that were accepted into the cohort project, which has changed its name to PLC Systems of Support and Grant Winners. So these 6 schools will also get Leadership Coaching Academy. They will get 6 days of an expert coming in to work with their teams and with their principals. They will have math and ELA coaching. Their singletons, the PE teachers, the music teachers, art teachers will have days of coaching. And then we will have lead coaches coming into the buildings to coach into each of our professional learning communities to help these 6 schools do the work. So I want to congratulate Elmdale Elementary, George Elementary, Monitor Elementary, Smith Elementary, Turnbull Elementary, and Westwood Elementary in being accepted into the PLC Systems of Support grant winners. We're super excited about this opportunity. Okay, one more celebration. Here we go. We have 3 schools that have been accepted into the BX3 grant project. Next year in Springdale, our focus is going to be Tier 1 behavior support for all of our kiddos. We know that that's definitely a need that we have in our district. So June 7th and 8th, all of our schools will have teams of a minimum of 7 attending a behavior workshop led by the Arkansas Department of Education, and we will be working to create systems of behavioral support in our school, learning how to use data to analyze if our systems are working. So we're really, really excited about that. But the super cool thing was, as a result of our district being able to participate in this training, we were eligible for our schools to apply to receive monthly behavior support and coaching in our schools. And 3 of our elementary schools applied, and 3 of our elementary schools were accepted. So I want to say congratulations to Elmdale Elementary, Bayari Elementary, and K-8 Connect, which, as you know, is our elementary alternative learning program. So we're super excited for these schools to get this level of support in helping our kids be learners. I think that's all my celebrations. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, thank you.
Okay. I'd like to invite Mr. Ellis to the podium. Talk about our workforce education efforts.
Good evening, Board. Just wanted to update you on our first district signing day, which we've had a lot of independent signing days, but we wanted to do something different this year and have all of our students recognized with our industry partners. So we were able to do that last week. And so some of the slides you'll see were some of the industry partners who were there. We had over 58 students who signed that day with our business and industry sectors. We had a lot of business and industry participants that were in process. So the Law Academy, I think, has some special students that are filling out applications to work for our Springdale Police Department, our medical. We intend to grow also our finance and banking sectors. So it was a really good day overall. We had a lot of students who are walking into $16+ an hour jobs. And also these companies are willing to further train them. So a lot of times when you look at these, you tend to think that's a dead-end stop, but it's not. These companies are looking for growth and leadership and potential for these students to grow. So it was a great day, one of the first that we hope to expand upon. And so I'm really proud of all of our kids. I also would like to give thanks to Miss Kelly Bortz, Miss Monica Whitaker, Amy Harrison, Maddie Stills, Kelly Williamson, Drew Samuelson, Carmen April Reed, our JAG teachers who were big in putting all this together. And we hosted this at SHS if you were there. So it was a great day, and I'm proud of all of our kids and what this is looking for in the future for as we're moving forward. So we had representation from all 4 schools, from Archer, HAR-BER, Springdale, and then also Non-Tyson School of Innovation. So appreciate your support, and really this is what it's all about. So any questions on that, thoughts, comments?
I got a lot of really good feedback from people that thought this was really, really good.
Good deal.
So did you say that we signed up 7 people?
We had 7 applicants for dispatch and jail positions.
Awesome.
We've had another in addition to that, we've had another 15 to 20 in process. So there was a Be Pro, Be Proud draft day that occurred in the spring that I'd mentioned to you. And out of that event, which is in 4 regions of the state, in this event that was kind of a culmination of some different events across the state, so far, we're leading the pack. So that's a really good achievement, I feel like, not for our schools only, but also for what you see in these pictures. So I'm really excited about their futures and where this is heading for them. All right, thank you very much.
We have some really talented kids. We have some really talented young people that are going to be great citizens, and they're contributing already as members of society and in our business and industry sector. So, again, thank you, Mr. Ellis, for leading that. I'd also like to announce to you that we're having our classified employees banquet. It's going to be held in Shiloh Square. We've done that before. It's a lot of fun. This year I have to thank the Chamber. The Chamber has actually stepped in and helped guide some of that, and helped gather up some prizes and some things. So our Chamber is really working hard, so I'd like to thank Bill Rogers and the team down there at the Chamber for that. So it'll be on May 23rd, and it'll start at 5. It'll be ongoing. Should be a good time just to fellowship with our classified folks and their families, and when we talk about the heartbeat being teachers and the backbones, classified staff, they're fantastic people. So anyway, any questions about the classified event? It's come and go, so if you like, it'll be fine. Okay, thank you for that. Mr. Hutchinson, that concludes my portion of the agenda.
Well, that brings us, looks like, to our attorney. She's got some fun stuff to discuss with us, it looks like.
Yes, thank you. I have 2 items on your agenda tonight. The first is seeking approval of changes to the classified personnel policies. You saw these for the first time last month. As you know, over the past several years and continuing into the future, we've been working to update our Springdale policies as close to the ASBA model policies as we can for a number of reasons. This reflects those changes. Again, they aren't exact replicas. We do insert our Springdale specific language in there as needed. We got feedback from the classified PPC starting back in February, and I think you saw in your agenda kind of the timeline that we've gone through and some of the feedback that's been submitted. Some of the changes were made, some were not. What I always tell people when we're working on policies is nothing is written in stone. There's always the option to go back and change these. And honestly, there's about 40 plus policies that will be immediately out of date once they're adopted because of LEARNs. So that's the next step that you're going to be seeing over the next couple of months. ASBA put out their suggested policy changes last week that are updates to their model policies. So that's what I'll be working on in the next few weeks and months. But another thing is one benefit of the LEARNs Act is it's actually going to make it a little bit easier for us to change personnel policies in the middle of the year. It's not going to be such a burdensome process of having everybody vote on the policies. It will just be a vote of the Personnel Policy Committee. So again, if changes come forward and need to be made moving forward, always open to that, and we can continue to work on these. Policies are one of the greatest areas of job security for me because there's always additional work that can be done on them. So I will be happy to answer any questions. I do need a motion and approval, and I have the chairperson of our classified PPC committee is Ms. Sherry Penalto. She is here, and she may have some comments for you. And so we'll let her make those comments, and then if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
First of all, I want to thank Kendra for all her hard work, because I know it's a chore, especially dealing with us too. And I just want to let y'all know I'm here not as myself for myself, but it's for all classified staff. Kendra did a great job on our changes and things like that, but some of the members of the policy committee have questions about like the evaluations, why they were just going to have a standard. It's up to the supervisor. they want some type of evaluation in place. It has been, the old policy was, everybody was supposed to have all classified evaluation every year. I've been here 22 years and I've never had one. And, that's fine, but some of them want the feedback, with that. So that's something that we want you to consider. A couple other things that we had. Let me see. Is that the training for classified staff. We are, the learns, we're being required to have so much, training. Well, some things the classified staff think for the maltreatment, the grievances, I'm sorry, wrong ones. Sex offenders, all that. We are not trained personally like the teachers are for those policies, is what I'm trying to say. I guess that's about it, because Kendra's, done an awesome job on that, but that's the grievance. The grievance she has changed was really good, that the admin had 10 days to respond, and the employee only had 5 days, but Kendra changed that pretty good on that, so we can bend her with that. I think that's it. There wasn't a whole lot, but we just want you to consider those things whenever you approve these. But like Kendra said, we can always go back and change them, but we'd like to know we were just heard. Thank you.
Thank you.
One thing I do want to mention on the training of classified employees, we're trying to think outside the box and how we can get that training done. The initial ask was to have some PD days for classified staff, which we haven't done in the past. I think that the idea was, we love the idea of that, but there's a financial cost associated with that, and that we would be extending contracts, and we just weren't prepared to do that at this time. So we're working on some creative ways to get that training done, whether it's through, videos, screencastifys that they can watch on their own time. So definitely hear the need for the training, and trying to figure out exactly how we weave that in and get it out to everybody. So are there any other questions?
So just kind of clarify for me, what she was asking about, are you okay with where we are? Are you okay with where we are? No, okay.
Because the staff, especially NISA custodians, they don't get the training. Now, a lot of them are Hispanic, and they don't get the,
Okay. So then what you just answered there was exploring opportunities to get that training put in place.
Yes, that's correct. With the understanding that there's language barriers, time barriers, and figuring out exactly how we can get that done.
It's very clear.
What about the eval stuff?
Sure. So one of the things, you always want your policies to reflect what your practice is. The policy, like Ms. Pinalto said, for as long as she's worked here, 20 plus years, has been that the classified staff would have evaluations. That simply wasn't happening. And so we changed the language to a may to make it permissive, which would be in line with what our practice has been 20 plus years. My feedback to the PPC was, if you're an employee who really wants an evaluation, go talk to your supervisor and say, hey, I'd like some feedback. What can I improve on? Some employees don't want that evaluation. Some supervisors are fine not giving it. So making it more of an organic process, which is what we've done for 20 plus years, even though our policy didn't reflect that.
So it was just up to the supervisor to do it or not do it? Well,
Correct.
Technically, it wasn't up to them, but that's what they...
Correct. Yeah.
And so with LEARNs, you're saying that if we approve this with the training, for example, we can change it at any time if we decide to put something in?
Well, the training is required in policy. So it's how we get the training to the staff that is the issue. So the training's already required in policy. We got to figure out a way to do it. What we can't agree to, and that, it's not really a policy issue, but we can't agree to the extended contract because of the financial cost associated with it. But we've got to figure out how to train creatively within the parameters we have. Yeah.
Board, is there any other questions concerning this? I guess we're at a point where we need to probably entertain a motion to approve it as is, understanding that we can always go back, and we're going to have to several times, it sounds like, to get everything squared away over the next however many months we're doing this.
Correct.
With the learns and everything else that's coming down the pike once they get all the rules and stuff done.
Yes.
So this is where we are today.
Today, yeah.
I also want to thank Ms. Penalto for your time on the committee and for coming and sharing your concerns. I really appreciate that. I know that's above and beyond your normal duties, and we need people to be involved.
Right, and I appreciate your work, Ms. Clay, putting together this timeline for us.
Yeah.
And also that it shows the changes that are not made, so we understand where you're coming from while you're up there speaking to us.
Yeah, I guess we should have said that.
And how many times we've seen it before. I was like, oh, we better.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we need to.
I'll make a motion to approve the changes to the classified personnel policies. Second. Yes.
So we have a motion by Mr. Emerson, a second by Mr. Ramos to approve the changes to the classified personnel policies. All those in favor of that, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right.
Okay, thank you. The next item in my section is seeking approval of a resolution appointing a representative to the Northwest Arkansas Education Service Cooperative Board of Directors. So in the past, those seats have been filled by our superintendents who are members of the co-op. This legislative session changed the options of who can be on that board of directors and requires that each local school board pass a resolution appointing a member that represents you. The resolution you have in front of you made a little bit of a presumption and that it would be Dr. Cleveland, but you do have options that it could be the district superintendent, a district employee, a member of the board of directors, if any of you would like to take that on, or a member of the community. But we do need a resolution appointing a member to the co-op board of directors.
Kelly's going to have a lot of free time.
Yes, community member.
Kelly can do that. You don't want to do that, Ms. Clay?
I don't. Dr. Cleveland does a really great job.
Well, I sure don't want to do it. I make a motion that we approve the resolution appointing Dr. Jared Cleveland as our representative to the Northwest Arkansas Education Service Cooperative Board of Directors.
I'll second that.
Good choice. All right, we have a motion by Mrs. Creek, a second by Mr. Bell to appoint Dr. Jared Cleveland as our representative to the co-op. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed to that? If you're opposed to it, you're going to be the person that's appointed. All right, so we're good.
Okay, thank you. One other thing I just want to mention, in the miscellaneous section of your agenda, there's two items that are linked just for your reading enjoyment. One is our legislative to-do list that took all of the Education Acts and the LEARNS Act and tried to piece them down so we can start parsing out who needs to do what moving forward. That's a lot. There's also a slide deck that just kind of summarizes the LEARNS Act. Dr. Cleveland and I presented to Rotary a couple weeks ago, and I've done a similar presentation to Patron Shelf. So just if you want to have some light reading, those are linked in your agenda.
Have they made any announcements on the people that applied for the rules and regs?
Actually, I got an email right before we came down, and I've been selected for the Career Readiness Committee. So I got it about 4:45.
Are you the only one out of our district that's been?
I don't know. I just
So you just got an email about that only. You don't have the whole list of all the different committees.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And I believe the meeting is
Check
on
your email.
May
Did anybody else get an email?
We didn't get a confirmation or a denial. So
Yeah.
I was told that the committees would be announcing at different times.
Okay, so I don't think anyone else, Dr. Cleveland's the first one that I've heard, so we'll keep you posted on that.
I want to echo Clinton on those two miscellaneous items. That was a really, really good summary, both of them.
Well, thank you.
I was cross-eyed after about 30 lines.
I know, right?
I had to scroll to the bottom to see how many there were. So anyway, that was really helpful to see
Good.
exactly what impacts there were.
I do
Yeah.
have a quick question.
Okay.
I saw that there was a lawsuit being brought on to Learns. Is that going to affect anything about when it's going into effect at all or anything?
Yeah, potentially. So there was a lawsuit, and I'm kind of shooting from the hip here, so bear with me. But there was a lawsuit filed by some community members of Marvel Elaine School District that basically challenges the state board's ability to use a charter management group to run their school, which was part of Learns. But it's premised on the fact, or the idea, I don't know if it's a fact, but the allegation that when Learns was adopted, that they didn't take a separate vote on the emergency clause, which the people who are bringing the suit allege is required in the Constitution, that you have to do vote on the legislation, separate vote on the emergency clause. So I don't know how that pans out. It could certainly have an effect on implementation of Learns. We're particularly watching it from funding standpoint, that if there's a stoppage, it could indicate some funding issues for us. Do you want to make any other comments on that?
Well, I can. It's worrisome for that to maybe go forward because of the funding from the state. Anything that puts us in a position of the state not funding us every month means payroll issues and bond payment issues and all of those things. So I would encourage for that to not happen, but no one's listening to me on that particular case. The courts will just have to decide, the judge will have to decide, and then we'll deal with it from then on. But there are other worries for small districts who may not have some of the funding mechanisms necessary to meet that 50,000 threshold. And I know a lot of small districts put out contracts already. So that could be a real problem.
Yeah. So we'll be tuned in with it and keep you posted as it moves on. Okay, anything else? All right, thank you.
Good evening, Board. Dr. Cleveland. Tonight I have several items for you. The first item is we would ask the Board to pass a resolution allowing the district to purchase approximately 40 acres that is adjacent to the Don Tyson School of Innovation. We have looked at this property ever since we've been out there, and it has finally come about that it is for sale, and we would like to purchase that property, use it for workforce education. Dr. Cleveland, would you like to expound on that in any way, or?
Sure. The board's very aware of the almost 40 acres owned by the Hilton family, and they've been represented by Ms. Lee, who's come forward and approached us about purchasing the property. And the family originally asked a higher price, but it's come down to $80,000 per acre, which is a lot of money. But it forced us to think about how do we finance the purchase of this property, and then you see the 30 acres that we're asking to sell in order to do that for the next item. But we feel strongly that adding that amount of property really provides the Don Tyson School of Innovation growth opportunities over time. It will also provide the entire district opportunities to do our workforce efforts like large equipment, teaching students how to drive bulldozers and track hoes and all of those things, plus the potential of having a district farm, if that be the case, to work animals and other things. It's important for our students to have those multiple opportunities across the district, and that is a district level space, not just the Don Tyson School of Innovation family.
Is it the south?
Yes, sir. So if you're driving south on Hilton Road, our property stops. You can see where ours is mown and all, and the next property, I don't want to say it's grown up a little bit, but there are some hay bales out there and some other things, and a couple of houses. That's the Hilton family farm, and it stops at the corner of Don Tyson and runs east all the way to almost Turnbull. There's only a small house right there that's in a cutout.
So if you're looking at Don Tyson, it's the property to the right.
So you're on Hilton.
If you're going down Hilton, it's to the left.
To the left,
If you're going
right past
south,
Don Tyson, right?
if you're on Tyson going east, it's to the left as well. If you're going west on Don Tyson, it would be on your right.
Yeah, there we go. I should
If you're looking
ignore
straight
what
on
I'm
the
saying.
building, it is
We're
to the
adding that
right.
to the roast. He doesn't know which way's which.
I don't.
I don't know, I think it's us. DTSOI gave us pictures to our door. We go in for graduation. Maybe you should have brought us pictures for our.
We could do that.
All right, so the first thing we need to do is approve this purchase, and then we're gonna get to the sale of land on the next one. So let's take care of this one. I need someone to make a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of approximately 40 acres adjacent to DTSI.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Emerson, a second by Mrs. Cook to purchase the approximately 40 acres adjacent to the Don Tyson School of Innovation. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
And we have tentatively received approval to purchase some equipment with ESSER dollars for that use.
Good.
Okay, the next item is to sell approximately 36 acres located on Sizemore Lane in Springdale. This is at the end of Don Tyson headed west. And we have that property available, and we were able to, it was at 110 an acre? 120 an acre.
Brothers is here, and she represented us. She could accurately describe this. Do you need any help from Ms. Brothers with it?
I mean, if you want to, but
Do you have anything that you would add?
How much was it? How much did we get per acre on that?
On the Sizemore?
Yeah.
We had it listed at 120 an acre, and we got over that.
Got over offer.
Good job.
Thank you. And that's a great price. I've got comps, the property right next door, sold not too long ago for right under 1/3 an acre. And so we just went for it, felt like I could get that.
Awesome. Thanks for your help on it. So basically, we're paying for our other land and some other stuff to come.
Right.
All right, so we need a motion to approve that.
I make a motion to sell approximately 36 acres located on Sizemore Lane in Springdale.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Mrs. Creek, a second by Mrs. Cook to approve the sale of approximately 36 acres on Sizemore Lane in Springdale. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
The next item is to request that the board allow us to purchase property located at 1106 West Center Street. This is if you think about Springdale High School Bulldog Stadium, this is right behind the scoreboard. If you look behind the scoreboard, that block right there, there's one piece of property that we do not own on that block, and so this would allow us to finish out the block. Last one.
Piece of the puzzle. On Center Street.
We have to commend Sarah again. Ms. Brothers, she worked on that. But the owner of the homes worked with her for over a year for us to be able to have this opportunity of purchasing the homes. What's the purchase?
197 is what we're paying for it.
I think that's less than the other homes we've been purchasing around, but it has a smaller footprint.
And we're still coming out ahead with our sale versus our purchase of these two.
Yes.
Way ahead.
Yes.
Way ahead, yeah. So we're doing good.
make a motion to purchase property located at 1106 West Center Street.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Ramos, a second by Mr. Bell to purchase the property at 1106 West Center Street here in Springdale. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Good.
Okay, Board, the next item that I have for your consideration this evening is our salary schedule adjustments for the 23-24 fiscal year. Oh, did I hit that again? I didn't mean to. Oh, there we go. Okay. As we have already alluded to earlier this evening, the LEARNS Act was passed. It provided funding for $2,000 per certified employee. We will be receiving that this next year. In addition, the foundation funding amount per pupil went up $205. And so Dr. Cleveland challenged me and Stacy to try to see what else we could do beyond the 2,000. So we ended up with 2,718, and that would bring us an entry-level pay for our certified teachers of 53,000. The second recommendation for our certified salary schedule is to add a doctoral lane to the certified salary schedule. And then on the classified salary schedules, there was some money provided in the 205 for the purpose of classified employees. It equated to about 74 cents an hour. We're rounding that up to $1. And we're going to add an experience step, or we propose to add an experience step to all classified salary schedules. The cafeteria workers' salary schedules, Ms. Smith and the child nutrition has enough money in their budget to be able to add an additional 22 cents per hour. Where we got that is the custodial, the starting pay for custodians is 22 cents higher than cafeteria workers, and we're wanting to levelize that. And then the final recommendation is to add an additional $1 per hour to the instructional assistant salary schedule, and that is to make it more comparable with what we are paying our certified substitute teachers, because oftentimes our instructional assistants are having to go in and cover classes, and we wanted to make that more comparable to what we are paying certified substitutes. Do you have any questions for me on this?
What's our entry level compared to the folks around us?
On the certified salary schedule, we would be the top in the state. Yeah, I believe Bentonville just raised theirs to 51.9, and so I think they're second. Well, Fayetteville will be 52 because they were at 50, and last I heard they're going to add the 2,000, so they'd be at 52.
All right, so we need a vote on this also, correct?
Please.
All right.
I'll move to approve the 23-24 salary schedule adjustments.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Bell, a second by Mr. Olby to approve the 2023-24 salary schedule proposal. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Well, even though I'm not going to be here, I would like to thank you, Board. This is a pretty strong recommendation from us, and so I know our certified and our classified staff appreciate that, and so thank you for doing that.
Thanks for your work on it.
The next item that I have for you, Board, this evening is the review of the April 2023 financial statements. In looking at those, we are slightly behind on revenue year to date. However, we should be getting a big old May settlement any day, so I'm really anxious and ready to see how much it is. So I think that will put us back in line with where we were this time last year. So I'm not concerned about that. On our expenditure side, the differences we're seeing there, I think, are some attributed to the COVID. What am I trying to say? The monies that we were able to move over to COVID, that now we no longer have COVID leave. That's what I was looking for. So therefore, we are paying those expenses out of the district now. So anyway, it looks good. We will be making a debt payment this month, our second debt payment. And with those big taxes coming in, things are looking good. So I'm not at all concerned about it. But I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. Or you could save them for July, whichever.
I'll make a motion to approve the April 2023 financial statement.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Emerson, a second by Mrs. Creep to approve the financials for April 2023. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? All right.
Thank you. Mr. White.
Hello, Board, Dr. Cleveland. We continue to just move forward on all of our construction projects. So Springdale High, they've got the decking down on the second floor of the academic wing. They're getting ready to start pouring that concrete here pretty soon. They've got the brick going on the north side of the academic wing. So the part that doesn't have brick on it, that'll be the glass. All the glass doors will go in for the lobby right there. That'll finish that side out. Inside, they're finishing up all the precast bleachers. And once that gets done, they'll start adding gravel and they'll start pouring the concrete for the gym floor. And these pictures don't do this justice. I took Ms. Cook, and I know Randy's been in there. It's a big building once you get inside.
It's insane how large it is. I mean, that's a semi, and there's
Yeah.
4 or 5 huge pieces of equipment, and there's still room to
Yeah.
have a football game in there if you want
Yeah,
to.
yeah, it's big. This is back on the south side. So once they get the gravel put in there and they'll get the concrete floor for the gym floor put in, they'll block up that entrance right there, and then they'll start doing the locker rooms and finish those on the south side. Inside, they've got a lot of the heating and air ducts in, electrical's going in, plumbing. So it's moving along good. We did receive all the heat and air units for this job, other than 2, which are the 2 big ones for the gym area. They've got delayed a couple months, but we've already got in the job to put some temporary heating and cooling in. So it won't slow the job up. We can still get the building conditioned and all the floor acclimated and installed. You guys have any questions on Springdale High? Okay. At Central, they've got all the steel up in area A and B, and they've actually, this week, they've got a lot of steel up in area C that's not shown in this picture. So they've made a lot of progress on that. They've got all of area A concrete poured on the second floor, and they've got part of area B that should finish up this week. And actually, on this northern wall, they actually have metal studs and metal panels on this. So it's moving along really good. The brick on the right side of this picture is the locker rooms that we saved. It has some steel that's going over to connect the walls and the roofs together between the 2 new sections. This is another view, and this is actually the area that has a lot more steel that's been added already. It's another view of the concrete upstairs. And then downstairs, they're putting in a lot of all the utilities. So plumbing, electrical, fire alarm, all those conduits are going in. And then I didn't get any photos, but the southern driveway that goes and it will connect to Emma, they're working on that and the retention pond. So that's moving along really good right now. And this is actually the auxiliary gym. So it's between the main gym and the locker rooms that we saved. And they've got the steel beams are done, and they've actually got this decked. So they should have roof on it pretty quick. So that'll dry that area in.
Did we talk about this before, the Emma extension that's going right by the central part? Is that going to be done about the same time as our school? Is it all going to kind of?
I'd have to get verification from Patsy. I know she talked like it would be done by the time school started in August. But that was before they even started the project, so I don't know if they're on schedule. I can get with Patsy and find out. I know they're moving along. They've got all the curbs done. It looks like they're getting ready to start putting asphalt on it. And really,
We drove our new section that we're building, and we're right up to the creek that connects to Emma. And so Emma Street looks really good. I haven't seen any asphalt yet, but we should be able to go.
yeah, it'll be nice when it does get
Well,
open.
I mean, open back this other section across the.
Yes, ma'am. You know, that will really relieve a lot of pressure off Huntsville and Newton.
But they've got that side, like, east of Gutenson
Mhm.
is still closed.
Yeah. Okay, at Southwest, this is the west locker room that they're adding on to the main gym. It's going up good. That's the interior of the locker rooms, and they actually have ceiling joist on this now. So at Southwest, they're doing a lot of the external metal studs and all the insulations going on, getting ready for the metal panels. And on the second floor, they've started installing a lot of the interior metal framing, metal studs, and a lot of the ductwork and everything's in. So the second floor, they've got all of the deckings on the roof. They're getting ready to put the TPO roof over the decking and insulation. And then you can see that they were lifting the decking up that day when we took the photos. And then that'll be the main entrance on the part that's coming out to the north. So it looks really good, and like I said, these pictures doesn't do it any justice when you get up on the second floor looking off of it. It's gonna be really nice. The locker rooms are getting close. We're a couple weeks away. They're having to redo a little bit of the flooring that didn't pass inspection, and then we're gonna add some athletic flooring in the locker room, in the weight room. So that's been ordered. Okay, do you guys have any questions on any of the construction sites? We're still working on the hail damage, so that will kick off as soon as school gets out. And then George Elementary will start as soon as school gets out.
On that yet? Have we got drawings or?
On George? Yeah. Yep, I've got some. I can share them. Okay, we've actually ordered all the furniture today for the front. So we're trying to get everything ordered.
What we're
in
gonna
here.
do when we get finished with all these projects?
I'm sure we'll have more.
Maintenance.
Yeah.
I'd like to tell you that George Elementary is also working on a potential new logo to bring to you all, potential change or support. They felt like with the new school, maybe an updated logo. It's really hard, Mr. Hudson and I were talking about that. It's really hard to think about a logo and how timely it needs to be. When you see a good one, you think, oh, okay, well, that's fine. But if you think about changing one, you think about all the nuances of what a logo actually means. It can get really tricky really quickly. And so they're working through that. So if any of you have any ideas on a logo for George Elementary, they're the Giants. They would love some input, so. Yeah. Another thing I'd ask the kids. Yeah, the kids are part of it. The kids pushed this idea of, hey, let's update the logo too.
The Jolly Green Giant.
Oh,
I think that one's.
That might be trademark.
Well, we're talking about that. I can tell you that, just as a little aside, I went and voted today in our election. We have the bond situation that's going on with the city, and of course our school board election, which is very, very important. So I want you to know that our community of teachers and employees expressed interest in having the opportunity today to go vote. And so we tried to be very helpful with them to be able to slip and go vote while we covered. You know, it's our civic duty. And as your representative, we expected and expressed our effort to fulfill our civic duty to do that.
So we still have 40 more minutes to vote if you have not voted. You need to go do that, right?
I know my personal family, we're headed out to vote after my wife accepted her clock. So anyway, and of course we have two that were up. Mr. Emerson did not have an opponent, and Ms. Cook does have an opponent. She's at large. So anyway, we had the election.
Okay. All right, if any of you want to go look at the projects, just call me or text me, and I'll take you and we'll go look at them. All right, thanks.
Okay. Education Association, y'all are up.
Good evening, School Board and Dr. Cleveland. As always, I am Valerie Hanna. I am the SEA representative tonight and an elementary teacher here in Springdale. And I also had Ms. Manzel, who is here representing her school and all the times that you heard Bayari come up there. So it's been a great night for her school. And of course, I'm happy to be here as always. And I'm also happy that it's only 13 more student days left for that.
But who's counting?
Not counting. Well, you know what? Counting backwards and counting down is a standard for kindergarten. So we do that.
Okay.
Just that's the only reason I know.
There you go.
It's just for that.
Good comeback.
Exactly. They actually do really towards the end of the year, they get really excited about it because when it's the bigger numbers, they're like, I don't know if I get this, but once it starts getting down to numbers we know, they're like, there's only this many days left. I'm like, yeah, until you're a first grader, it's awesome. But we really appreciated this month getting to sit with Mr. Hayes and hear about, the budget next year, getting to hear about how our district is going to be taking care of us. And really going above and beyond that bare minimum that a lot of other districts are, I don't know how to say, either having to do or that's what they're doing. I have friends in other districts where they're only doing that $2,000 that's a requirement. And so for us to go that extra part and that extra amount in the budget to incentivize our teachers is really, really, it warms the heart. It makes us feel good that we're being taken care of. And, that really came into perspective for me talking to a district, it's a small one, that I will not name it because we don't want to call anybody out, but listening to her talk about how excited she was to finally be getting to make over $50,000 after 10 years of service, and she's going to be making $50,500. And I'm not knocking it because money, it's finite, but the idea of that 10 years of service that she has been working to increase her salary, and that now all of their steps are just gone. And that's just going to be, so, the person that they hire next year that has never worked is basically making the same salary that she is. So to that end, it's really, really nice to see what Springdale has done. Absolutely a huge thank you for showing our classified staff support that the state, couldn't be bothered to do. And giving them the raise, the additional steps. And I think that there was a lot of conversation after Lawrence came out where I would be asked by our classified staff about like, oh, well, we're getting this and we're getting that. And I'd have to say, no, there's nothing in the bill for you. There's nothing that has been for classified staff, and to sit and listen to Mr. Hayes say, we're going to be able to do this. We're going to be able to do this for you guys. It really is a example of why Springdale is the best. And then my phone keeps going off, so hold on one second. Oh, and then the last thing was that I personally very excited about the classified staff banquet. to hear that that's coming back. And I would personally like to offer, if anybody needs help in serving, or I'd love to be able to serve our classified staff also. So if you need help or anything, I'm sure SEA and the teachers would be happy to be in service of all those people that help us do our jobs every day. So thank you very much.
Thanks for being here. I think that brings us pretty much to the end. Nobody has signed up to speak on the patron list. So unless somebody here has something they want to say, I'm going to say that we are going to be adjourned.
Can I say just
Yeah,
one
go
thing?
ahead.
Those salaries for classified and certified would not happen without your urging. Each one of you individually have told me in the past, do all you can do, do all you can do. How many conversations have we had, Mr. Owenby, over time? Do all you can do. And so I want to thank you personally for your trust, not only in Mr. Hayes, but in this entire team, and also your willingness to help push us to do right by our staff. So it wouldn't happen without you. So just thank you.
With that, I guess we're going to call it adjourned, and we'll see you again this time next month.
Kelly's last meeting.
Kelly's last meeting.
He's coming back in June.